What's up, guys? This is Ian here, coach of your Ladner Lanturn, bringing you guys our NCL Week 11 match, or the Boston City League. This week we are taking on my good friend Muddy, or Alfie, and his Denver Bruxish in this league. He's the Green Bay Stackers in a few other leagues. His team consists of Mega Sableye, Chansey, Toxapex, Tangrowth, Umbreon, Ditto, Trapinch, Skarmory, Sigilyph, Aromatisse, and Zoroark. It's basically full stall, and I let it happen because I thought it was hilarious. I also let him draft the Trapinch, which I also think is hilarious. Um, it doesn't have a lot of weaknesses, and it's been okay for him this season, actually. He hasn't played full stall most of the time. I imagine he finds it pretty boring. He's been bringing a lot of offensive Skarmories, offensive Sableyes, offensive Umbreons, so we'll see what happens. We can see on the screen here, he brought the Skarmory, Aromatisse, Ditto, Mega Sableye, Umbreon, and the Sigilyph. I was not expecting Ditto or Sigilyph. Instead, I was expecting Chansey Chansey and Toxapex, neither of which came. I'm really happy about both of them, although my Hydreigon set's kind of wasted now. That Chansey didn't come. I'm happy that Toxapex didn't come because now I can get T-Spikes up safely. If you haven't seen my team builder, I'll just run quickly through my team. I'm bringing a Mono Air Slash Celesteela with Toxic, Leech Seed Protect to sort of just wear down the Chansey potentially. My team is basically all physical, so I wasn't super worried about the Chansey, but now I'm worried about the Sableye. I didn't think of that. Donphan is Roar, Rocks, Knockoff Earthquake. Beedrill's T-Spikes 3 attacks. Girder is... I think I have Bulk Up. It's Drain Punch Facade for sure with Knockoff and Bulk Up, I think. Hydreigon is Roost 3 attacks with Life Orb, and Darmanitan is Sub Belly Drum with a Slack Berry. So, I actually got the Darmanitan set from Muddy. I'm part of his front office, and for one of the other leagues he was in, he brought this set with a Darmanitan. I thought it was really cool. This is basically the only game where Darm's going to be able to pull it off because his team is really slow since it's stall. He didn't bring Zoroark, which was like one of the only two things faster than Darm, and he brought the Sigilyph, which could be faster than Darm. We'll have to find that out basically based on what the calcs say on damage-wise and stuff like that before we try and set up. Chansey might have been setup fodder. Seismic Toss always broke my sub, so now Aromatisse is my setup fodder. Mega Sableye could also be setup fodder as well. It can't really do much back to me, except with the foul play. Umbreon just blows me back with the foul play, so I have to be worried about that. But I know he likes his Cursed Throat Chop set, so he might bring that. Ditto is a pain in the ass. I can't set up before Ditto's dead. And yeah, that's basically it. Again, I'm really happy to not see Toxapex because T-Spikes can go up now. Remember in this league that you do not have to Mega first turn. So his Sableye could be regular Sableye for the entire game if he wanted, or if he wants to Magic Bounce, you know, then he can do whatever. So I'm going to lead with my Darmanitan because I think it's got a good matchup against everything, and I can actually deal with the Skarmory if he's going to lead Skarmory, as he ends up leading the Sableye. I don't care, honestly. I don't care about the Sableye. It can't really do much back to me, so I'm just going to click Fire Punch turn 1, as he's going to switch into his Ditto and take a hell of a lot of damage from my Fire Punch there. Doing quite a bit. Doing quite a bit. Half of his health with my Fire Punch. This shows me that he's basically not max HP Ditto. It's basically non-HP invested damage. My own Hydreigon can kind of wall this this Darmanitan, so I'm going to go into my Hydreigon now, as he's going to go for his own Fire Punch. Does quite a bit of damage-ish. I think I just click Roost here, anticipating him to keep going for it as he goes into Aromatisse, which I would imagine is his solid check to this. He doesn't know if I'm physical or special yet. I am physical, so I'm not running Outrage or whatever, but for Dark and Dragon attacks, Aromatisse seems to be a good switch-in for him. So I'm going to go into my Celesteela, which is a good switch-in to me. And then he goes into Ditto, predicting my switch. Really good read on his part, actually. But now I'm just going to protect and see what he wants to lock himself into, because I know he's Scarfed, and I'm only running one attack, so we'll see actually what he wants to go for here, as he's going to go for the Leech Seed. So now I can switch into something to take the Leech Seed. I choose to go Darmanitan because I threatened this thing out with a Fire Punch, and I can just go for Fire Punch again. He chooses to go Sigilyph, which is going to take a buttload of damage. Now, at this point, I could have just clicked Fire Punch again. However, I didn't know if the Sigilyph was faster than me or not, and Air Slash could do a lot of damage and put me in Select range right now, which I don't want. Um, so I'm going to double into my Hydreigon, I think. Yeah. Bluffing that I don't give a shit about the burn, even though I do, because I'm physical, as he roosts up. My Crunch is going to do a lot of damage to this thing, so I'm just going to go for Crunch. Actually, Crunch OHKOs this thing, because we saw that he's not physically defensive based on that Fire Punch damage. So I'm going to go for the Crunch here, as he's going to go into Sableye, which is still not a good switch in. It takes it neutrally, and it takes it not well at all. He has to stay in regular form to Pranks to recover on me, but Crunch is doing more than his recover is by like 20%. So now he's going to switch into Umbreon on the Crunch, which also shows me that it's not physically defensive Umbreon. Unfortunately, Superpower doesn't kill from this range, otherwise I would have just gone for it. He sort of reads that and goes into Aromatisse, so I'm going to go for the U-turn. U-turn was kind of just my best play on the Umbreon anyways, so that's why I went for the U-turn, because Superpower didn't kill, and I thought he might scout for it by going into like Sableye or Aromatisse like he did. Actually, he could have gone into literally anything else other than Ditto to scout for the Superpower, and so U-turn was just by far my best play. This shows to not be physically defensive either based on the U-turn damage, so Fire Punch is going to demolish this thing. I'm just going to click Fire Punch again with Darmanitan as he switches into Sigilyph. Again, I'm scared, but now he knows I'm physical. Now he knows that I'm physical Hydreigon, so I'm going to make a different double into my Dawn. No, I'm not. Sorry. I go for the Fire Punch. I risked the speed there. That's what it was. I risked the speed there. Now I can't risk the speed anymore. I did a lot of damage. Seems I got a really low roll on the first Fire Punch, actually. So I do a lot of damage to this, to the Ditto here, and now I'm going to go into my Dawn Fan, which takes this really well. And I'm just going to go for the knockoff this turn. I think he thinks that I'm going to go for Earthquake, but I've got the knockoff, so we'll get rid of Skarmory's weakness policy here. So he does show to be a weakness policy set. He's not weak armor, funnily enough, just weakness policy. I thought maybe he would run the weak armor set with weakness policy. It kind of made a lot of sense to me, so that he's like Double Dance almost, with like Ironhead Brave Bird or something. I don't really see how it breaks through Celesteela though, so maybe it wasn't the best bring entirely. I'm not sure. I'm going to set up my rocks this turn. I don't really care what he does. I just want the rocks up as he goes into Umbreon. So he's looking to sweep, and the rocks are up, which means Sableye is low enough to die. Ditto's also going to die on entry. Skarmory's taking 12%, Aromatisse taking 12%. Sigilyph is Magic Guard, so we know it's not taking any damage. I'm going to click Knockoff this turn as well, get rid of this thing's leftovers as he just starts to set up on me. Little does he know I've got the Roar, so I don't care if you curse up on me, because I can just phase you out, which is what I'm going to do right here as he curses up again. Get the Roar off, and in comes the Ditto, which dies. So we got really lucky. Ditto was the only thing stopping Darmanitan from sweeping. Now he's going to make a really curious play and go to Sableye and kill it off too. I don't know why he did that. And then in comes the Sigilyph. So Sableye died for free. Ditto died for free as well. Maybe because he didn't want to get roared into Sableye at any point. I'm not entirely sure. But Sigilyph comes in. I think I just go into something else here as he goes Umbreon. Or maybe I click Knockoff again. I click Knockoff again as he goes back in Umbreon. Now I'm just going to click Earthquake as he's going to try and Moonlight up on me. Get his health back. Earthquake's doing a lot of damage. Like, this is very offensive. Umbreon, it relies on curses to get its defense boosted. Earthquake just did a chunk. Beedrill comes out for free as he gets a Moonlight. U-turn is going to demolish this thing. In fact, it was actually a roll to kill the Umbreon from because it wasn't physically defensive. My U-turn was a roll to kill it from full. So in comes the Skarmory. I'm going to do a lot of damage to this Skarmory with the U-turn anyways. I was surprised at how much I did, to be honest with you. Skarmory is normally a Mon that tanks those hits very well. I struggled against Jay's Skarmory in my LET match this week, and yeah. But Darmanitan comes in here. Fire Punch is going to demolish this thing. I think he's just going to sack it off here, so I just click it. Then in comes the Sigilyph, bluffing that he's faster, but I'm not going to fall for it, and I kill that too. So now he's got Aromatisse and Umbreon left. Aromatisse is fodder for me. I can click sub here as he clicks disable. Thinking I was going to click Fire Punch, I think. I don't care if he disables my sub because he can't break it with Moonblast. I have a lot of HP investment because Darmanitan only needed to be faster than some things after Select. I think I want it to be faster than like Zorwark after Select or something like that. I can't remember. I'm sorry, I can't exactly remember, but that's kind of what the play was. But I'm a Honda sub, and I can just click belly drum this turn and pop my Slack. I had just enough health to make that work. As the Moonblast comes out, does not break my sub. A Fire Punch at +6 destroys this thing, and it also destroys Umbreon. So we do end up winning the match 6-0. This is our first 6-0 of the season. GG to Muddy. He played about as well as he could have without knowing my sets. Again, that was his Darmanitan set, so I sort of shouted him out here for the set. Muddy was already clinched for playoffs. We're still not clinched for playoffs. We're 9-2 plus 25, and we're still not clinched for playoffs. That's how difficult this conference is right now. I have to rely on one of Cade, Magic, or TJ losing a game, and then we're clinched for playoffs. It's entirely possible that it happens. I'm not holding my breath. We might have to beat Mortal to clinch playoffs next week, but we're on a 9-game winning streak. I'm feeling really good. We're in a really solid position to win the division as well, because Cade and Magic are both 1 win. Well, they're both 2 wins behind me now. And so actually, if they both lose, we'll clinch the division this week as well, and then next week won't matter at all for us. But I'm still going to try and win against Mortal next week. We do play Mortal. It was a rematch from our week 3 game against Mortal, which is what started our winning streak, actually. So I'm hoping to finish off the winning streak again against Mortal. And yeah, I will catch you guys for that.